ticket to the Stanley Cup Final can be punched tonight in Dallas. Can the boys in orange and blue finish off Mikko Rantanen and co? We get you set for Game 5 between the Oilers and the Stars on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the pregame show, live on location, Hudson's Whyte Avenue. Absolutely beautiful day here. Whyte Ave is looking good. People already on the patio. We've got the Nasties in their spots, and the Combine crew's going to be here. We've got Cal and Sarah. We've got Rob from the Grove who's already here, and we're going to have a lot of fun tonight as we get set for Game 5 of this Western Conference Final. Hernan Salas back at EST Global HQ, and then we'll also hear from Matt Kassian, our game analyst, in a few minutes. Josh Bogorad, play-by-play voice of the Dallas Stars, will also stop by in about 12 or 13 minutes or so. Of course, GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Get in on the conversation. Text us 780-218-9999. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you already haven't, and of course, get into the nasty chat. It's going to be a fun one today. I've got this good vibe. I feel like there's been so much positivity, and I think probably people in Dallas, especially the Oilers and everybody that made that travel party down there, likely feeling it as well as they look for a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup Final. We saw the Florida Panthers knock off the Carolina Hurricanes. The Canes built up that lead, and then the Panthers just struck in quick fashion. Really quickly, as we bring in Hernan here, I heard you and Gage are talking about the Paul Maurice stuff. I think he's getting weird, man. I think he's getting a little bit too convoluted with his stuff. I was a little bit surprised with what Gager had to say about him.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, Tom. I know what he was doing, but at the same time, like, everybody was like, "Oh, Brenda Moore's a grown man." Like, he could have said, "Okay,
he's been coaching for years since 2018."
I respect that, but you know what, buddy? I'm gonna do my own thing. Like, I'll shake your hand here, but I'm gonna go there because I think that's what I want to do. Like, it's not like you forced him. Like, I'm a little blown back by the heat he's taking.
By Paul Maurice, the heat he's taking?
Yeah.
Well, he's making it weird. He's making it awkward for no reason. So I was listening to Gager, and I was like, and I was listening to his post game too, and we were talking about it a bit on the Hangout. But it's like, okay, settle down, man. I don't know. I generally like him. I generally like his demeanor. I understand why his players love playing for him. Yeah. He's a player's coach, obviously, but that was unnecessary. That's how I'll describe it. But his team has been kicking the living daylights out of the Carolina Hurricanes, having an excellent postseason. I know Toronto took them to Game 7, but
it's definitely
whatever.
Going to his
head.
It
is what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely going to his
I didn't want to say that. I just thought it was unnecessary, some of the stuff.
Yeah, and but again, like, I get he annoys people, and I think he's funny. I think he's great. I really didn't have an issue with what he said to Brenda. Again, Brenda Moore's his own man. I'm pretty sure Brenda Moore doesn't take orders from anyone, especially Paul Maurice. So it's
odd.
I might be the only guy that's okay with it. I don't know, man, Tommy. I didn't find it that bad as many others did. I know Huss was pretty fired up on the log shop about it.
What did he say about Paul Maurice? Is he defending him because he had him in Winnipeg for a while?
No,
he's not.
Was all
okay,
over him, man. He was not defending him one bit. So
I'll tell you what, Huss is a smart man. He's a smart man.
He sure is, man. I wouldn't want to get on his bats.
All right, enough about them. We'll focus on them when the time comes. It is all about the Oilers, and it is all about the Stars. Josh Bogorad will be hopping on in a few minutes' time. Nancy, let's start with the question of the night, why don't we? Do you have one ready to go?
I do, and I got to give props to YouTube Trev. He came on our show today. He made a great point.
He was great hit, too.
He said he was thinking about, are the Oilers, like, are they better with Hyman and out Ekholm, or are they better with Ekholm and out Hyman? Like, I was like, damn, that's a great question. Because those two guys are probably top 3, top 2 acquisitions by the Edmonton in the last 20 years, Tom. Like, seriously, best free agent
Very fair
signing.
point. Yeah.
And Mattias Ekholm, one of the best trades made here in recent time.
Yes.
So it's a great question. Like, with Jeff Skinner, Mattias Ekholm coming into the lineup, Zach Hyman and Connor Brown out, and Stetcher, are the Oilers better today than they were last game? It's a tough question, man.
Yeah, it is a tough one. I'll say no, because I am concerned about Mattias Ekholm's true health.
Okay.
And I know for the doctors to give him the green light, they've been watching him, observing him, helping him recuperate, all of that. He's got a great medical team around him. The athletic therapy team is fantastic, but I am still concerned. Like, I want to see how he handles the fastest guys from the Dallas Stars. And I know the Stars don't have a lot of burners. Rupe Hintz has got that foot injury, and that's slowing him down and impeding him, obviously. But when you've had a guy who's played one game in what, like the last 2.5 months?
Yeah.
2 months? Like, I'd be concerned. So I'm a little bit concerned. So I would probably go with going into today, better team with Hyman and Brown in the lineup and no Ekholm at his current health status.
Haggard prospector,
that's what I would say.
On the Nasty Chat says he feels it's a wash.
Yeah, I understand that too. I'm not going to push back that hard against anybody who's like, well, they're better today with Ekholm in.
Yeah.
He is their best defenseman. He's been really nicked up, like not good. So when you fall down a couple of times, and I know that was April 11th, so we're talking about a month and a half ago. I'm just concerned. He's an old guy. He's a Viking now, and it's
fair to feel that way, but at the same time, is Zach Hyman the best forward on the Oilers? No. Right? Like, for some he's third, for some he's fourth, for some he's fifth. And he's been awesome these playoffs. I'm not taking anything, but you're bringing back a guy that's your number one defenseman. And for me, and as good as all the other 6 guys have been, Tom, there's no one like Mattias Ekholm on this team. There's just not. When he's on. No, I get it. He hasn't played in a long time. I think if he's playing and he's been giving the go-ahead by the doctors, he's good to go. And, there might be a little bit of rust there for sure, Tommy. I can kind of see it both ways, but I just have a hard time picking a side because for me, Mattias Ekholm is such a big piece. Like, Tommy, forget all the injuries and everything. When you did your rankings, remember in the preseason, Mattias Ekholm's top 5, right?
He was top 5. I think I might have had him at 3 even.
So that's why I got to sway over to maybe today's team, because Mattias Ekholm is that good, is that important, and is the Oilers' number one defense.
Hey, I'll even counter my own initial answer and say, does his presence help the demeanor of the rest of the group when he's on the bench and they see him out there? I question everything I say all the time. But that has to factor in as well. If you're looking down the bench and you're like, well, there's Corey Perry, there's Connor McDavid, there's Leon Draisaitl. Oh, by the way, there's that Viking guy who's our best defenseman. I think there's a lot of guys on the bench that you're like, that guy's really good. That guy's really good. There's a Viking. Like, I think that does have an effect in a positive way for the group. So I understand it from both sides. I got to pick a side and answer the question of the night. What say you? 780-218-9999. Nanso, throw it out there one more time before I get into the lineups.
Yeah, is today's team with Mattias Ekholm. I'll throw Jeff Skinner in there because he's playing, Tom.
Sure.
Better than what we've seen for most of the playoffs with Zach Hyman and Connor Brown. And Troy Stetcher to an extent, because he didn't play up until that Vegas series, and it was Emerson. But I think
he played good.
I don't think there's a wrong answer. I think people just have their preferences, and maybe people rank positions and players differently than we do. But I just think it's for me, it's Ekholm because he's just elite, right? Like he's on another level. So we'll leave it at that.
I have a very hard time arguing that. And let us know your thoughts. I want to hear from you. 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat as well. Let's roll into starting lineups brought to you by Southport Chev. You saw Dusty do a nice video for them testing out one of their vehicles. It's on our social media. Nicely done, Dusty. Go see Daniel and his team in the Fort, and they'll give you $1,000 extra credit on your trade-in. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. See dealer for details at www.southfortchev.com. For the Oilers, McDavid between Nugent Hopkins and Perry. This is how they skated this morning. We could see some change. Are there going to be some variances? Is Chris Knobloch trying to throw some smoke and mirrors at the Dallas Stars? Perhaps, but this is how they skated today. So McDavid between Nugent Hopkins and Perry, Draisaitl with Kane and Kapanen, Janmark between Podkolzin and Arvidsson, then Henrique with Jeff Skinner, who makes his return since Game 1 of that LA Kings series, and Trent Frederick on the right side there. On defense, you heard us talking about Mattias Ekholm. He is back. He'll be paired up with Evan Bouchard. Jake Wallman with John Klingberg. That pairing has been excellent all playoffs long since they've been stuck together. And then you've got Nurse with Kulak. I don't mind Nurse with Kulak, Nanso. Kulak has played a lot with Darnell Nurse. Oh, yeah. He's played a lot on his offside, and they found something too. And I know there can be an argument made for Troy Stetcher and the way he has played with Darnell Nurse settling him down, as a lot of people put it, and I don't disagree with that. I really don't. But Brett Kulak has played very well with pretty much anyone he's been paired up with. So we're going to see Nurse and Kulak, at least it looks like, to start. Out for the Oilers, Stetcher, Max Jones, Derek Ryan, Ty Emberson. As for the Dallas Stars, they jumbled things up. Pete DeBoer looking for something, anything, to get a win to stay alive against the Oilers. So we'll see Rope Hintz between Jason Robertson and Mikko Rantanen. Matt Duchene with Mason Marchment and Tyler Seguin. Wyatt Johnston between Jamie Benn and Mikhail Granlund. Sam Steele centering Oscar Back and Colin Blackwell. On defense, Esa Lindell with Mira Heiskanen, Thomas Harley with Cody Ceci, and Liam Bichelle with Alex Petrovic. Out, Evgeny Dodonov, Ilya Labushkin, Matt Dumba, Brendan Smith, Maverick Bork. And if you're wondering, where the hell's Dumba been? Healthy scratch for a long time. Yikes. As Leah Asimakopoulos told me, it ain't working with Dumba in Dallas. Let's go to your starting goalies now. 26-year-old Stu Skinner for the Oilers. He's now 5-4, Nancito, with a .247 goals against average and a .910 save percentage with 3 shutouts in 9 games in the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. His lifetime record in the postseason versus Dallas, 7-3. He's got a .185 goals against average, a .929 save percentage, and 1 shutout in those 10 appearances versus the Stars in the playoffs. And then at the other end of the rink, 26-year-old Jake Ottinger, 9-8 this postseason, .272 GAA, .908 save percentage in 17 games in the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. And then lifetime versus the Oilers in the postseason, Ottinger is 3-7 with a .294 GAA, .892 save percentage in those 10 games he has faced Edmonton. Let's get to your Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy injury report. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You have a bag of frozen peas. So get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today at www.advantagesportmed.ca or call 780-460-9977 for the Oilers. Connor Brown and Zach Hyman. Hyman having surgery on his wrist yesterday. Alec Regula has been out ever since the Oilers acquired him. Knee surgery last year. As for the Stars, Nils Lundqvist dealing with the shoulder issue. So there you go. There's your Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy injury report as we welcome in play-by-play man for the Dallas Stars and our good friend Josh Bograd making his return to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Josh, appreciate the time. You're a busy boy, like we all are this time of year. Just let's set the tone. How's the vibe in Dallas? How are Stars fans handling this situation? Give us a sense of where everything's at right now in Big D.
Yeah, I think right now inside the arena, it's, everybody's excited. The Stars have played really well here on home ice. They know that a win tonight makes things a lot more interesting. All of a sudden it's a game 6 and it doesn't really matter how you got there. You just get there to a game 6 and they know they'll have to tackle a pretty tough beast up there at Rogers. But it's job number 1 from a Dallas standpoint is just getting to that place first. And look, there's obviously disappointment. I think it'd be crazy if it was any other way. I think the players, the coaches, the fan base, everyone disappointed. And certainly it was an ugly feeling after that Game 4 loss. It was the second straight game that they probably felt they played not that badly in Rogers Place, but just nothing to show for it offensively. The 2 goals in 2 games and only 2 in the last 3. So they got to figure out a way to beat Skinner. They got to figure out a way to get some offense. But I think that when the puck drops, at least at the start, the Stars are kind of ready to relish and seize the moment in a building where they've done it an awful lot this year. They've been pretty resilient, but there's no type of test like the one they're about to get tonight when your backs are against the wall and you're trying to cliche take it one game at a time, which I think is easier said than done when you're staring at a 3-1 hole.
Yeah, Josh, you've been around this team for a long time. You know these players, you know the management team, you know the coaching staff. When their backs are against the wall, does it bring out the best in this group? What can you say about the demeanor of this group and how it might attack tonight?
Yeah, I think it does. Again, sorry to bring out every tired cliche, but the Stars really are. It's a hard thing to quantify with metrics, but they sure do feel like one of the best response teams in the NHL. Now, you don't want to be in a position where you have to respond all that often. And just because you've done it before doesn't mean you're going to do it, right? We were in this spot last year with these same 2 teams. And I think the Stars kind of felt like when it was 2-2 and they lost on home ice in Game 5 that they could go up there and get a Game 6 win. Again, it was similar to what they just did in Games 3 and 4. They played well enough where they probably could have, but they didn't. And that's the only thing that matters. The Stars have... Look, before that 7-game slide they went on at the tail end of the season when they were resting guys and other guys were injured and they clearly were just focused on the playoffs, they 3 straight years hadn't lost 3 games in a row in regulation at any point. Aside from the three that Edmonton took from them in Game 4, 5, and 6 last year. So, I mean, it's a team that Jake Odger's numbers, the team's numbers after a loss are phenomenal. Dallas was the only team in the entire Stanley Cup playoffs that had not lost back-to-back games this postseason before the Oilers just ripped off 3 in a row. So the answer is, they're really good at responding. They've shown it throughout the years time and time again, but they also have run into a very, very good Edmonton team these last 2 Western Conference finals that have done to them what basically no other team has been able to do. And Edmonton will try for the knockout tonight, and the Stars will try to go back to that response well one more time and, again, tighten this up. Because if the one thing I will say is the swings of playoffs, Tom, I mean, you're around it so much. The swings are insane. You think back to what Edmonton was probably feeling when it was 0-2 against LA and before the coach's challenge heard around the world. And then even in Game 4, down to the final seconds before Bouchard tied it. I mean, it probably had to feel like the sky was falling. And the next thing you know, you blink and a month later and they're a win away from going back to the Stanley Cup final. So the swings are just astronomical. And I think that the Stars realize that they are in a big, scary, hard-to-overcome hole. But if they get a win, and it's a big if, but if they get a win tonight, all of a sudden it feels like Edmonton's got a lot of pressure to get it done on home ice in Game 6, because the last thing you want to do is get back on a plane and head south and play a winner-take-all on foreign soil against a team who's coached by someone that's never lost one.
Good point. Last one for you, Josh. The lines and the combinations Pete DeBoer's going with, what's he trying to tap into there? And then what kind of game are you expecting tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. He hasn't really divulged the lineups before you get going. But if it's the same look as they had the other night, then I think what they're trying to do, they broke up that all Finn line, is just get other guys going. It's too good. It's too talented. It's too deep of a roster to only have one line going. I mean, the Stars, when they're at their best, they feel like not only are they more than a one-line team, they truly are a four-line team. They've got that type of depth. I mean, Evgeny Dadonov is your healthy scratch as of the last game. He's a 20-goal scorer this year. Like not grabbing into years past. And so when you got that many guys that can give you that much offense, top 5 offense once again this season, and it's just too many that have gone quiet at the same time, then the play is always to mix it up and find that combination, because you don't just want to stay with the exact same thing and have the finish line of the season just come to you while you're running in place. So it's about uncorking specific guys. And then once you get going, I mean, you know it. Once a slumping score gets going, usually there's others to follow, and that's what the whole plan is. Now, whether it works or not, we're about to find out.
It's going to be a great game tonight, Josh. I always appreciate your time, sir. You're a gentleman and a scholar, and maybe we get to do this again, do it again a couple more times, depending on what happens tonight. Thank you, sir.
Well, I've told you, buddy, I'm neither of those, but I'm always happy to chat with you. So thanks for having me on, and we'll catch up soon.
Always helpful. Josh Bograd, play-by-play man for the Dallas Stars. Really appreciate him hopping on. He is a busy guy, and he was nice enough to squeeze in a few minutes for us tonight. Great stuff there from Josh. Anything stand out to you there, Nanso, what Josh had to say? I mean, he talked about the cliches and all of that, but cliches are often used, but a lot of times, and most of the time, there's truth behind them.
I mean, listen, I know the Nasty Chat's upset with Josh, but he covers that team. That's what he does. He's their Jack. He's seen him way more than we have, so obviously he's going to be optimistic and talk glowingly of his team because he's seen them more. He's seen them in every game this year, more than we have. So I'll say what I took. It's confidence. It sounds like that they think this team can turn it around. It's going to be interesting to see what they do to get goals because I think I can't remember who said it on the station here, but it's like they're overthinking it to score goals. You know, it's. They just got to keep it simple, this team, and I don't know, man. Like, you look at Wyatt Johnson, 0s. You look at Rantanen, 2 assists. Duchesne, 1 goal. Ben, 0s. I know he's in a different role in his career, fine, but Seguin hasn't done much since game 1. Granlund hasn't done anything since game 1. So, it's fascinating, Tom, and I just don't think this team's just going to all of a sudden break out of it with a 5-6 goal performance. Not the way the Oilers are playing. Not the way Stuart Skinner's playing. So for me, it's again, like, he is their Jack. So obviously he's gonna have a lot more insight into that team and how they respond. And they seem like a confident bunch that think they one game at a time and get it back to Edmonton for game 6.
780-218-9999. Get to the Nasty Chat. I am laughing at what is being said in our EST chat. Joaquin and Dusty, you guys are very funny. Very funny. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's go to Spruce Grove. Corey, who texted in and said, hey, guys, Oilers wrap this one up tonight to drag Florida back to Berta. Hashtag Team Touche? Team Touche? What's that going back to? Let's go to Jimbo. Team Touch.
It came out because we were talking about, like, if the Oilers win tonight, do they touch the Western Conference Trophy? Engager and I didn't even think of that. Engager and I said yes. Are you Team Touch? And then we're like, wait, that sounds terrible. No, are you? So it's just Team Touch the Western Conference Trophy. So.
And I'm the one Dusty Engager giving crap to, and we're talking about hashtag Team Touch. Come on. Jimbo texting in says, can't compare lineups until we see how they do tonight. Excited to see how Skinner and Ekholm do given the opportunity. Big shoes to fill in Hyman and Brown, but if those two play to their strengths and settle in, they should have a positive effect on the game. Schmokey the Bear says, I'd say they're a step below what they were, but still 3 steps ahead of Dallas. Talking about the question of the night in regard to, do you prefer the team with Ekholm and Jeff Skinner compared to with Connor Brown and Troy Stetcher and Zach Hyman, obviously, but without Ekholm. So it is interesting. I mean, what a luxury to have veteran guys that have been can contribute to good teams who have had to sit out chunks, some of them, like Skinner, huge chunks of the postseason. Then you can slide them back in. We're not talking about sliding in a rookie that had a good year in the AHL. We're not talking about playing a tweener that should be in the AHL. We're talking about, like, legitimate everyday guys who've had to sit. That's depth. That's legitimate depth.
Yeah.
They have it.
Can't complain about that. I mean, who were the guys coming in when McLeod, Sad, and Fogle, Tommy?
Derek Ryan.
Derek Ryan was one.
Sam Carrick.
Yes.
Broberg had to come in midway through the postseason. He played very well. That was his coming out party as a legitimate NHL defenseman. It was a pleasant 10 games, 11 games that he played
for Vinny. Yeah.
For Vinny Desharnais, yeah, and you look at Vinny Desharnais, he struggled this year. Got bounced around the league after signing that contract with Vancouver. This team this year, it wasn't a pretty march to the postseason, that's for sure. We had some interesting nights, but now all of a sudden you get all these guys back like we thought they would, and it's to the point where they're fighting to get back in the lineup. And I think the guys that were waiting to get back in were more effective NHL players than the ones we were talking about last year. I'm a little bit surprised, I'll be honest, but here we are. So let's, like some people have texted in, let's see what Jeff Skinner can do, how motivated he can be, and if can, propel him to play a solid 200-foot game, which isn't really his MO. So yeah,
well, we might hear from him later, but we were kind of giggling the difference in the pressers between him and Arvidsson. But they were both coming back.
Well, I was there for Arvidsson the other day, and he was angry.
Yeah, one was
very
really
upset.
angry, and Jeff Skinner's just so sure, I'm great. I can't wait to get back
I'll
in.
Play.
Yeah, so it's
nice. All right, keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999, and get into the nasty chat as we welcome in our game analyst, Matt Kassian, for Game Changers, brought to you, as always, by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, consistent, top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Cass, I'll throw Hernan's question of the night at you. Do you like or prefer this Oilers team, with Ekholm in and Jeff Skinner in, as opposed to Hyman, Brown, and Stetcher? Which team, roster-wise, do you think is better? The one with Ekholm or the one with Hyman and Brown?
And just for context, it's more Ekholm, Hyman, because we had YouTube Trev, and he goes, are the Oilers better with Zach Hyman and Ekholm out, or are they better with Ekholm in, Hyman out?
Yeah, I think that's the real question, because they've won with the other group, like with Hyman in and without Ekholm. Man, that is tough. Like, when you look at it in that regard, that's difficult. Right now, guys, I got to go recency bias here. And I think potentially they could be better with Ekholm in, but we haven't seen him back yet. We haven't seen him play in the playoffs. So right now, I got to go with Hyman in. I mean, the guy was hitting like 40 people a night. He was running people over. That may not be a popular opinion, and I may change my mind after watching Ekholm and seeing how he is actually playing and what he's actually capable of. But Brown was effective. Hyman was also effective. And Stetcher, although Ekholm is much better overall than Stetcher. Stetcher got by. He got through. So right now I got to go. I would rather have the lineup that's won me a whole bunch of games, fellas.
You made a very sound argument, and I have a hard time picking any side. I kind of went on the side of the one without Ekholm, because I'm worried, I'm concerned. I'm watching with a concerned eye for him. Anyway, if he's all good and he can move and he's mobile and he's not being a turnstile, then everything is well, and people can breathe a sigh of relief. All right, let's dive into Game Changers for tonight's game number 5 between the Oilers and the Stars. Cast number 1, speaking of him, Viking power.
Big power. And it looks like Stetcher's not going to be in the lineup, not going 11-7, which is what I thought they were most likely going to do. I thought it was a natural kind of fit to slide in there. You're not having to pull anyone else extra out of the lineup with Hyman being hurt, and you can ensure that if Ekholm, for whatever reason, isn't up to speed, you're going to be okay. Now, maybe the thought is, you might have the chance to protect him with some minutes. Maybe. I don't know. Doesn't look like that with the pairing. But I'm a little surprised that they went to the 11 or the 12-6 instead of 11-7. Now, Skinner comes in the lineup as well. They're hoping that he can find a little bit of mojo. He can be maybe physical. play a smart type of hockey game, maybe contribute offensively, and that the adrenaline is going to sustain him and pull him through. And for Ekholm, they're obviously looking at this saying that he is ready to go, not just ready to play, but ready to play some minutes today, ready to play some minutes because it's going to be a physical, high-intensity game. And I just kind of go, Tom, if this game goes to overtime, let's say this game goes to double overtime, like, do I trust Ekholm's ability to give you good minutes in second overtime, or am I more concerned about needing to have 12 forwards to get me to second overtime? And I kind of lean towards the 11-7 model for that. Now, that's me. The coaching staff obviously doesn't agree, and hopefully they're right, and it's not like it's immediate, instant anticipating disaster because of it, but it is a little bit of a they're making a choice. This is a decision, and it's one that may work very well, or it's one that after the game we may look to and say, probably should have went 11-7. So it's an interesting thing, because if Ekholm is able to step in, play at his level, give you a really good game, by all means, they made the absolute right decision. But Tom, we're going to have to see what type of game Mattias Ekholm has for the Edmonton Oilers tonight.
So any follow-up there from you?
No, it's a good point on overtime, right, guys? No, it's a what if, right? But you're right. Like, what if? But I guess at the same time, the other five guys, they play a lot of minutes, and there's a lot of trust in every single one of them. And that's even John Klingberg, right? So they might dial Ekholm back a bit, but yeah, it's a risk for sure if this game is extended into the extra time. But we'll see. I guess the keen eye will be on Ekholm and on the first couple of shifts, right, boys? See how he's moving. See how he's handling the pressure and all that.
Are there any tells, Cass, that you can identify when you're watching a player to see if he's at full health or close to full health?
Yeah. Defensemen. So primarily we're going to look at his pivots, like when he's opening up.
Yep.
Because that's most likely going to be it. So when he's stepping backwards, skating backwards, how early does he rotate to go forwards? Like if someone's trying to step around him wide, like does he have enough push to be able to stay with them? Is he turning earlier than normal, like when he shouldn't be turning in anticipation because he knows he doesn't have the ability to explosively push and to open up? That to me is one of the biggest tells with the defensemen. Is you can see it in their confidence too, how much of a gap there is. Like if they're leaving early, trying to get back a little bit early and not trusting their own skating and their own ability to move, that to me is an immediate tell.
I like that. So keep an eye out for that, Cass, with the pros version of the tell. We'll see how Ekholm is moving. And I think you said that very, very well. All right, number 2 on Game Changers, Cass, the penalty box.
Stay out of the penalty box. Stay out of it. And
Stay out.
Yes, your penalty kill has been a little bit better. Yes, that is fantastic. That is great. We are thrilled. We are excited. We are happy that your penalty kill has been a little bit better.
It's still 66.7%. Good for 14th.
A little bit better, Tom. I said a little bit better.
And I know. I'm just reminding everyone.
Yeah, this series it's been a little bit better. Still sucks overall. But I would rather not give Dallas that opportunity to feel really good about themselves at home here. And I would rather play this game 5-on-5 because you have been dominant 5-on-5 for the Edmonton Oilers. And I think it's an important type of game. Now, we'll have to see elimination game. You never know what's in the mind of the referees and the officials coming in. Are they going to be calling it tight and calling everything? Or are they just going to be letting stuff slide? What type of game the referees are calling is going to determine some of the intricacies of how you're trying to play in terms of hooks, holds, grabs, slowing guys down, interference, all of the above. And for the Edmonton Oilers, I just, more than other nights, I think it's a more important night to make sure you're playing that 5-on-5 game, like to stay out of the box, to try to keep it not a special teams battle. And I think your special teams have been better than Dallas's, but Tommy, I don't want to risk giving them any kind of momentum. So stay out of the box. You can't have any penalties 200 feet away from your net. If you're going to take a penalty, make it a goal-saving penalty and we'll be fine with it. But outside of that, keep your sticks on the ice, fellas. None of these dumb high stickings, interference, hooking, holding in the offensive zone.
If you're wondering who the officials are for tonight, you've got Chris Rooney and Wes McCauley. The standby official is Francis Charon. And then your lines persons are Ryan Gibbons and Ryan Daisy, with Scott Cherry as the standby lines person, as the NHL puts it. So, yeah, Chris Rooney, who just made his return a couple of nights ago. He got that stick under his eye in Game 7 between Florida and Toronto, and then Wes McCauley. I mean, do you have a history with any of those guys? Did you deal with Wes McCauley back in the day, Cass?
Wes was around, yeah. Not, I wouldn't say any bad interactions. I didn't have any bad interactions with him, no. He was fine. He's a little younger then, still, as was I. Not as old as we are.
We all were, okay?
We all were a little younger at that time. Fortunately, I had about the same amount of hair, so that's a good thing for me. But, yeah, no, I mean, you're getting to the point in the NHL season where you're just going to see the same officials typically over and over, like the same assignments and the same type of guys, which you can get into a rhythm with them of how are you trying to speak to them? How are you trying to pressure them? And really understanding what type of a game they're going to call. Like it is just an important thing. And I'm trying to think back. I can't remember. I don't think Wes was reffing in the playoffs back when I was playing in the playoffs. I would have to double check that. I can't remember who the officials were. I was too busy trying to guillotine Colby Armstrong and leave him passed out on the ice. So I can't remember which ref was trying to tackle me at that point.
The linesmen they're basically like giant bouncers nowadays. So, I mean, they got to handle a grizzly bear like you, and some of them are just as big, if not bigger, which is insane. Grizzly bear, by the way, is Belzy's term for you. I just find it endearing, as you know. Netso, do you have anything to say about the penalty box? That's point number 2 on Game Changers.
No, I agree, and I think for Dallas it's the same. Don't you feel every time the Oilers get a power play now, boys, it's automatic? Like you just know the goal's coming. Like last game,
Cass, I'll let you handle that one because I have more confidence in the power play now.
Like I've got more confidence. Yeah, they have been really good. I kind of feel like in the big moments I have some confidence in it. Is that fair? Like,
it is.
I don't think it's like the power play is not just automatic. I'm not just like, oh, they got a power play, they're going to score. But it feels like, oh, this is a big moment. The power play is going to score, if that makes sense. Like, it's not just an automatic through and through, but I'm like, no, they bear down when they have to bear down. Like Nuge is right now the guy, but Nuge is going to make a play, you know? So, yeah, I do. I kind of have that confidence that the big moments that it will be automatic.
Well, okay, and there's a reason why. I mean, they've clicked in every single game in this series. They went 1 for 3 in Game 1, 1 for 5 in Game 2, 1 for 3 in Game 3, and then 2 for 3 in Game 4. So, yeah, that is a way to build confidence, and the power play actually has crept up overall. It is, I think it's now 4th. I was going over the stats going into show prep, and, yeah, it has catapulted itself up to 4th at 28.9%. Dallas on the other end, 31.4%. So they're in 3rd in the playoffs. And then, like I said earlier, 66.7 on the PK. That is 14th. So not good overall. And then Dallas's PK is 5th at 80.7. And if you're looking and going, hey, what about the Oilers on oh, wait, you know what, guys? Oh, wait, yes. What were the Oilers on the PK so far in this series? PK, 1 for 4, 2 for 2, 2 for 2, and 3 for 4. So outside of Game 1, pretty steady. So they're winning the special teams battles. All right, it is Game Changers, as always, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Point number was Viking Power. Point number 2, the penalty box. Point number 3, Cass, seam passes.
Those old seam passes that Dallas is going to try to throw at you here.
Yes.
I truly believe with how they're feeling about Stuart Skinner right now, the Dallas Stars are really going to be focused on trying to get bodies in front and creating screens. But they're also both on the power play, if they get power plays, hopefully they get done, but if they get power plays, and in the offensive zone, I really think they are going to try to focus on those seam plays and moving the puck across the ice. And I think the Edmonton Oilers have done a fantastic job so far this series, especially 5-on-5, on limiting those. Like, they have had good sticks. Whether it's been on 2-on-1s or just in zone coverage, Edmonton has done a really good job of protecting the house. So House if you kind of draw a house shape starting from the goal line out and then towards through the middle of the slot, like that's the high danger area when pucks go through that zone or are in that zone. That's the high danger area, and Edmonton has done a good job of not allowing pucks through the house, where they've broken up plays. They've had good sticks, good bodies in lanes, and they just have not allowed Dallas to generate a lot of offense in that area. And you have to continue to do that. I mean, that has to be a mindset. Dallas's offense have been stifled. Rantanen hasn't got anything going. Johnson hasn't got anything going.
Right.
Seguin had one game and then hasn't had anything going. Hintz, nothing going. So we could go top to bottom right now for the Dallas Stars, and offensively, they just haven't had it going. And I think so much of it is how well Edmonton has protected the middle of the ice and not allowed pucks to transition through there. Huge game, huge opportunity to continue to do the same thing, to hopefully win a game and seal yourself a date with the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup final.
Cass RBM says, I'm with you. Ekholm's health is concerning, whether he is healthy enough to be effective or not. If he is, then great. All is well. Northside Sandwich says, who are you more nervous / interested in seeing how they play today, Skinner or Ekholm? Cass, you want to answer that one for Northside Sandwich real quick?
Say it again. You skipped out on my computer.
Okay. Northside Sandwich says, who are you more nervous / interested in seeing how they play today, Skinner or Ekholm?
I am more nervous about Ekholm. I'm more interested in Skinner. And I am more nervous about Ekholm because I think a lot more rides on him than Skinner. Like he's going to be playing a much more important role, where Skinner, if you needed to sit him for the third period, if he wasn't playing very well, whatever, you're not worried about it, right? And so way more nervous for Ekholm because I think he has the potential to impact the game much. Actually, you shouldn't even say the potential. He has he will at a base level impact the game much more than Jeff Skinner does. Yeah. Now, what am I more interested in? Well, I'm interested in if we see a playoff Jeff Skinner that we haven't really seen. And if Skinner, again, the base level of Ekholm is there, but the potential maybe is there for Jeff Skinner, where it's like, well, offensively, if he has a night, well, yeah, he can be a game changer. So more nervous about Ekholm, because if Ekholm is playing horribly, it hurts you a lot more than if Skinner is playing horribly.
Right.
So more interested in Skinner, more nervous about Ekholm.
Graham from Kidsport just showed up. A lot of the nasties are getting here. Cass, it's going to be a lot of fun on the post-game show if we see this team have success tonight. Fantastic edition, as always, of Game Changers. I look forward to catching up with you on the post-game show.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Tommy.
There's Matt Kassian, our game analyst, brought to you, as always, by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Check them out if you're looking to get into the market, buy or sell your home or condo. Damon has you covered. Nancito, anything you want to hit on? I know we can go inside the Oilers locker room. We'll get to the game day odds check as well. Don't give me those eyes.
I'm just waiting.
Giving me those eyes.
See some Dallas lines, but nothing yet.
All right, the teams are on the ice at American Airlines Center for warm-up. We will update you in the meantime. I do want to get to this one. Our buddy Rowdy Roddy texting. He says, hey, boys, Tommy and Hernan, watching you guys. 3-1 Oil, empty net goal, going back to the dance, baby. Rowdy Roddy. Chantel in Calgary texting in. There goes Edmonton's finest, our fire rescue crew, making sure everybody's safe. Hyman out. Lowers that physicality, but don't forget, Ekholm is a beast and will add physicality into the defensive zone and will help, certainly, if holding a lead. That one's from Chantel in Calgary. Spruce Grove Corey says, hey, guys, Oilers wrap this one up tonight to drag Florida back to Berta. I think I got to that one earlier in the show. If you want to get in on the conversation, text us 780-218-9999. Gazzola live on location at Hudson's Whyte Avenue. Shout out to Connor, Kenya, Julia, Sarah. The crew here is fantastic, and I think it's going to be a good time. We've got a lot of the nasties showing up. They've got a table for about 20, and then also the Combine crew is going to be well represented here tonight, it feels like. Great anticipation, great weather, kind of on the inside, outside, on the cusp here, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I did get a haircut. Yes, Chantel squeezed me in today. And she's like, oh, I get to do your hair the way I want it, and people will see it tonight. I was like, yes, do whatever you want. She likes to give me like crazy style. And then she's like, I know you're just going to slick it back tomorrow. Yes, I go Tino Vaselino, Chantal. I go Tino Vaselino. Let's get to your game day odds check, brought to you as always by Play Alberta. Gaming made easy anytime, anywhere. With Play Alberta, you've got a full casino experience right at your fingertips. Play from your phone, tablet, or computer, whenever works best for you. Download the Play Alberta app today. Get started with a $100 casino bonus. Just deposit $20 with promo code 100casino, all caps on casino. Play smart, play local, and remember to use your game sense. Oh, no, there goes our banner. All right, your game day odds check. The money line, Edmonton plus 105, Dallas minus 133. Your puck line, Edmonton minus 278, Dallas plus 162. The over-under is set at 5.5, or 5.5, I should say. It's Connor's fixing the banner. Sorry, Connor. Over-under at 5.5 tonight. The over, minus 139. The under set at plus 100, of course, 5.5. It has been at 6.5 all series long until this game tonight. What do you think, Hernan, for the over and under at 5.5? Would you take the over or would you take the under? I feel like under again. We got it right last time.
I was just gonna say that. I think it's the under again. It's gonna be a tight game, low scoring. Dallas can't score right now, so I think 5.5 is good. I'm kind of with that the Nas you sent in 3-1. I just don't know which way yet, Tommy. I don't know.
It was Rowdy Roddy.
Yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go inside the Oilers locker room and let's hear from a couple of guys who are making their return. Let's start with the Viking, Mattias Ekholm.
Do you mind? Can we start with Skinner here real quick? I just got to get Viking into the system.
Okay, let's go to Jeff Skinner then. I'm sorry, I should have confirmed.
Oh, no worries. My bad.
I don't know how you're feeling, the excitement level. It was not as long as the last time you had to wait to play a playoff game, but it's been a bit here.
Yeah, I feel good. Excited to get going. Obviously, you guys have been battling hard for a while now, and nice to get in there and try and contribute.
What's the daily sort of routine and grind been like as you're waiting here with the other guys? We've watched you guys, you've been skating lots. It seems like you've been keeping it light.
Yeah. I mean, I think. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Obviously, the guys are playing and they're the priority, I think. And then guys that are extras trying to stay ready. And we got the strength coach, we got the skating coach. So all those guys are the trainers, kind of staying late. All those guys are trying to keep us ready, keep us in a good mindset, be ready to go in when we get the chance. And I think that's basically what we've been doing.
It's not easy to be parachuted in. What do you have to do to be effective tonight?
Maybe just keep it simple. Like I said, the guys have been playing really well, battling really hard, I think, and I just try and come in, read off those guys, and try and keep it simple and try and contribute.
I'm sure you would have wanted to play more, but does this kind of show how good this team is and how much depth you have?
I hope so. Otherwise, then the other option for that's not good for me. But I mean, again, guys have been playing really well, battling hard, and they got a good thing going. I'm trying to come in and help them out.
You were playing your best hockey towards the end of the season. Did you feel that way? It looked that way. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, I felt pretty good. I felt personally I was playing pretty well. I thought we were playing well as a team as well. So, I mean, that's what you want. That's what you need. You need guys coming into playoffs. And obviously, I think after those first two games, we kind of hit a bit of a good rhythm there. And guys were playing great. And, here we are now.
All right, there's Jeff Skinner. He's going to play his second career playoff game. He does have a playoff point. He also is -2, Hernan, but I know we teased, but here's an opportunity for him. What'd you make of him? Because he's pretty loosey-goosey. I think he's got a very nonchalant attitude. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not easy for a veteran guy who was signed to be a top 6 guy. Hasn't gone his way. He's been up and down during the season. Probably his best hockey late. And then, but with the emergence of Kane coming back and Trent Frederick getting healthy, Kasperi Kapanen coming in and playing well, scoring a big goal to send them into the third round. It's been tough, but you got to like the attitude, just saying, hey, like, listen, if I'm not playing well, there's a bunch of guys I want to get into this lineup too. So, again, I think it's got to be a measured approach to what we expect from him tonight. Tom, I mean, if he chips in, it's a bonus. But expectations are not at the highest for me with Jeff Skinner. But he's a guy that's been around, knows what it takes, and I know it's only a second playoff game, but I think he'll just be fine. I still see him around that 12 to 14 minute mark of ice time, Tommy. Not a lot of power play time, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. I'm more intrigued with the Viking, to be honest, but I wish Jeff Skinner the best. He's been a good soldier for this team. Sitting out must be extremely difficult for this guy. So good for him to get back in, and hopefully he can make the most of his opportunity.
All right, we do have updated lines. I've got Dallas. Do you have Edmonton? I'll do Dallas from our good friend Leah Simakopoulos from the Dallas Morning News. Let's go with her first, and we'll look at the Oilers lines. All right, Rupe Hintz with Mikael Granlund and Mikko Rantanen. Matt Duchene with Mason Marchment and Tyler Seguin. Wyatt Johnston with Jason Robertson and Maverick Bourque entering into the series. And then Sam Steele with Jamie Benn, and it's Colin Blackwell. On defense, S.L. Lindell with Miro Heiskanen, Thomas Harley with Cody Ceci, Leon Bichelle with Alex Petrovic, of course, Jake Ottinger, your starter for the Stars. Do you have Edmonton there, Nanso?
Just the ones that was sent out earlier, right?
I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen anything different. We just knew that there might be some discretion with the Stars there. We heard from Josh Bogorad earlier. And, let's just go over the Oilers.
McDavid with Perry and Nuge. Draisaitl between Kapanen and Kane. Jeff Skinner with Rico and Trent Frederick. And your fourth line is Janmark with Arvidsson, Podkolzin. Defensively, Ekholm, Busch. Nurse with Kulak. Wallman with Klimberg. Stewart, Skinner between the pipes.
There you go. There's your lineups, as always, brought to you by South Fort Chev. We have a couple minutes left. Do you want to hear from the Viking? Do we have it?
We have it. It's 5 minutes, so we can run 2 minutes.
Let's run a couple minutes. We'll read a couple texts when we come back from it, and then we'll say goodnight because people want to get going with game number 5. Let's go to Mattias Ekholm playing his first game since April 11th.
I'm hoping so. We'll see how warm-ups goes and my nap, but if I get through that, it feels really good.
Do you have a conversation? Sorry, real quick. Is it a daily conversation you have with Chris to negotiate your situation?
I think it's mostly been a conversation with our doctors trying to, obviously I came back twice and kind of re-aggravated it about 2 months ago, and just making sure that I'm in a good spot where I can not just play, but also withstand some blows, and that's what playoffs is all about. You're going to get hit, you're going to get knocked down, and just be able to know that I am strong enough to be in a position where I can not only play, but just defend myself as well.
When Miro came back for Dallas, he only played 14 minutes in the first game, then they worked him up to now his usual 24. Would there be any limitations for you ice time-wise if you came back tonight?
I guess it's a feel-out process, but you'll have to ask the coaches about that. We haven't talked much about it. I know we're going with 6 D if I'm playing, so that gives you an idea of it, but I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I can play. Then obviously I haven't played in a while, so it'll be a bit of an adjustment, but I feel great, and I don't think I'm playing 26 minutes, but I do think I'm ready to play somewhat of a normal role.
You come back to the
Viking Mattias Ekholm making his return to action, first time in a month and a half. He's expected to be paired up with Evan Bouchard. All right, a couple of texts, and then we'll wind things down. Conroe, Texas, sending in a picture of Jobu with a classic Edmonton Oilers sweatshirt. Conroe, Texas adds, just saying. I like it. Good vibes from Jobu. Anybody who's a fan of Major League, the movie, would understand. Pedro Serrano, Jobu was his guy. Troll texting in said, I'm concerned about Ekholm's health too. He's the kind of player who's a warrior and would lie about being good to go so he can, quote unquote, help the team. And then last one goes to Hontorio Mom, says, if this is the team of destiny, Jay Skinner, game-winning goal tonight, book it. Oh, that's a bold statement, Ontario Momes. That's a bold statement. All right, final thoughts from you, Hernan Salas.
Yeah, Oilers just confirmed the line, so Mattias 100% playing, of course. We all knew that, but just it makes it official. Yeah, let's go. The Oilers finish it off tonight. Game 1 goes Wednesday. They don't finish it off tonight. No matter what happens, the finals will start next Saturday, Tommy. Let's go. Yep. We've been waiting for the Viking. Jeff Skinner, I know a lot of people are happy he's back in the lineup. We'll see what they can bring without Zachary, Hyman, and Connor Brown. So excited for this game. I truly don't know which way it's going to go. Dallas is going to bring their best as they're looking to stay alive here, Tom. It's going to be a good one. Can't wait for postgame.
For the sake of everybody and the love of God, get it done tonight, yes. Edmonton Oilers. We'll see if they can clinch this series, punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup final, and a rematch with the Florida Panthers. A big thank you to Josh Bogorad, play-by-play voice of the Dallas Stars, for hopping on the show tonight. Big thank you to everybody who watched and listened on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, of course, EdmontonSportsTalk.com's audio player, and to those who watched on YouTube. You guys are fantastic. We've got a great group of our listeners and viewers. The Nasties are here. Combine crew saying they're on the way shortly. We're going to have a lot of fun here at Hudson's Whyte Avenue. Big thank you to Connor and everybody here, Sarah, as well as Kenya and Julia. They are the best, and we're going to have a lot of fun, and maybe the Oilers can just add that extra bit of oomph with a victory tonight. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. For Matt Kassian and Hernan Salas, the Latino Heat, I am Tom Gazzola saying enjoy the game. We'll see you on the postgame show. Ciao, ciao.